Hello and welcome back to English for You. It's day 3 now of the beckoning fair one. Things have been getting spookier by the day and we finally saw a ghost yesterday, didn't we, Jacqueline?
Yeah, we did. And what he did after he saw the ghost was pretty cute. He went straight to the pub.
Yeah, went straight to the pub. He's like, I just saw a ghost. I need a beer. Yeah, I think that might be my reaction as well.
Okay, maybe I would have done the same thing.
But after the pub, he went back to the house, right?
Oh, yeah, and nothing was there.
Nothing was there.
Good.
But Elsie, who is Oleron's friend, is still feeling funny about the whole situation. She's even noticed that Oleron's behavior has changed, and she feels like that he's pushing her away.
Because he wants to protect her, I think. Ooh. That's what I think. I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, spoiler alert. Or maybe there's a nasty presence in the house who doesn't like Elsie and wants to keep Oleron all to themselves.
Okay.
Well, let's read day 3 of the story and see what happens.
Reading The Beckoning Fair One. Oleron began to suspect that something was wrong with the apartment. For one thing, he had become sure that it was trying to harm Elsie. That's why he wanted to keep her away to protect her. For another thing, he went to an old vicar who told him that the apartment's previous tenant had died under strange circumstances. A few days later, Elsie tried to visit. She banged on the door and shouted to tell Oleron that he was in danger. Oleron hated the sound of Elsie's voice now. He hated Elsie crying and being there. It annoyed him. Then Oleron had a terrible feeling that he was going to strike her. He tried to stop himself, but he couldn't. Oleron woke up. He thought he'd had a nightmare. A large crowd had gathered outside the old building. 2 police officers entered the apartment to find a horrible smell and Oleron lying in bed. They asked him where Elsie was, but Oleron was confused and couldn't tell them. He couldn't remember anything. It didn't take long for the officers to find the source of the smell, though. It was Elsie's body.
So day 3 of the story begins like this. Oleron began to suspect that something was wrong with the apartment. Finally. After all this stuff, he finally suspects. So the story used the word suspect here, which is a verb, and to suspect means to have an idea or impression of the existence, presence, or truth of something, but without having proof. If you suspect something to be true, that means you don't know 100% that it's true, but you have some idea or evidence that shows it might be true. You should be careful about saying what you suspect might have happened, because if you're wrong, you could have accused somebody of something that they didn't do. Here's an example. The police suspect that the father killed the boy, but they didn't have enough proof.
好，所以 suspect 就是怀疑，所以 to suspect that 就是怀疑什么事情。那你把它变成名词就是 suspect， 指的就是一个嫌疑犯。比如说 two of the suspects had good alibis for the day of the robbery， 所以其中2名嫌疑人呢，在抢劫当天就有很好的不在场证明，所以代表他们可能是没有罪吧。或者是呢，我们再另外看一下文章中刚刚说 Oleron 开始就怀疑说这间公寓到底有没有问题。
So the verb is suspect and the noun is suspect.
Yeah.
It's different just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Well, back to the story. For one thing, he had become sure that it was trying to harm Elsie. And by saying it, they're talking about the apartment. That's why he wanted to keep her away, to protect her. You were right, Jacqueline.
Yeah, sorry, I just said it.
You were so right. I could never guess this.
Okay.
So the apartment is trying to harm Elsie? What does harm mean? H-A-R-M. It's a verb and it means to make somebody feel pain, to hurt somebody. The pain can be physical or emotional pain. but often we're talking about physical pain. Something that causes harm can be described as harmful. It's not good to harm people or animals. Let's just be nice to each other. Here's an example sentence. Too much fast food can harm your health. Don't eat it too often.
所以 harm 就是伤害，那当名词也可以哦，也是伤害。比如说 there's no harm in doing something， 代表做什么事情不会有什么伤害啦。比如说 he may say no, but there's no harm in asking， 就是问一问也不会怎么样吧。那或者是把它变成一个形容词，就是 harmful， 有害的。比如说 fruit juices can be harmful to children's teeth.
It's true. Everyone thinks fruit juice is so healthy, but it's just sugar.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
Well, back to the story, and it says, for another thing, he went to an old vicar who told him that the apartment's previous tenant had died under strange circumstances. Uh-oh,
Okay.
Now it's a real ghost story. Someone died in this place, but they're still here.
So maybe what he saw was the one that died, right?
The previous person.
OK, 好，我们来看一下这边的文法咯。好，我们这边的文法是 for one thing， 然后 blah blah blah， 又怎么样呢 ？for another， 这边指的就是一个原因是什么，另一个原因是什么。那通常就是给予理由去支持这两个论点。比如说 I'm a bad driver. For one thing, I once fell asleep when I was driving to my office. For another, I always have a hard time parking. 好，这个 vicar 就是英国国教的教区牧师。那我们刚刚有看到另外一个字是 tenant， 它就是承租人或房客的意思。所以我们刚刚讲的 for one thing 是什么原因呢？一个原因是他确信这个公寓真的是想要伤害 Elsie。那另外，也就是说他不想要 Elsie 再来，因为他想要保护 Elsie 的安全嘛。那另外一个原因是什么呢？他又去找了一个牧师，然后牧师跟他说，其实这间公寓里面以前的租客曾经死于很古怪的情况。
Wow, super scary.
真的。
I wonder what Oleron's motivation is for staying here. Maybe he thinks it could be good inspiration for a new book.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
We also saw the word circumstances in the story. This word is a noun. And the circumstances are the facts or conditions connected with or relevant to an event or action. Basically, the circumstances are the details of a situation, the context and information about a situation that are important to know. By saying someone died under strange circumstances, the story is explaining that the situation surrounding the way that the person died has some strange details. Here's an example sentence with circumstances. This space is not suitable for working. Nobody can be expected to work under these circumstances.
所以呢 circumstance 就是情况或环境，所以我们文章中出现的呢说 under 或 in circumstances 的是在什么情况下，你也可以加一个 any 在中间，代表无论在什么情况下。比如说 racism is unacceptable under any circumstances， 代表种族呢去歧视种族在任何的情况下都是不可以被接受的。
Absolutely. Well, back to the story, and Elsie is here to save the day. A few days later, Elsie tried to visit. She banged on the door and shouted to tell Oleron that he was in danger. Uh-oh, what's going to happen to Oleron? Well, what did Elsie do? She banged on the door. Bang, B-A-N-G, is a verb, and it means to use your hand or another object to hit something else and make a loud sound. If you bang on a door, that means you use your fist to hit the door hard and to make a loud knocking sound. You might bang on a door if you're angry or if there's an emergency. You can bang other things too, like you can bang a table. Here's an example sentence. If my sister is being too noisy in her bedroom, I'll bang on the wall and tell her to be quiet.
所以 bang 这个字就是猛击或猛敲，或当名词就有巨响的意思。比如说 he slammed the door with a loud bang, or sometimes we can say, oh, look at my bangs.
Bangs, yeah.
你们说 fringe.
We say fringe in the UK.
对，在那个英国是说 fringe 就是刘海。那这边呢，我们可以说 bang goes something， 就是有点什么事情泡汤了。比如说 it's raining outside, bang goes our lovely picnic day. 讨厌，不能野餐了。所以呢，这个 Elsie 很紧张，跑来就说 You're in danger， 就是你在危险之中。所以如果把什么人陷入危险，就是可以说 to put someone in danger， 或者是某个东西 to put something in danger 也可以。所以几天后呢 ，Elsie 就来找 Oleron 嘛，猛敲门跟他说你有危险了。
Uh-oh, something bad is about to happen. Let's see what. Oleron hated the sound of Elsie's voice now. He hated Elsie crying and being there. It annoyed him. Then, Oleron had a terrible feeling that he was going to strike her. He tried to stop himself, but he couldn't.Annoy
就是让谁很烦躁很恼火。那其实呢，我们昨天也有讲到 frighten 这个字，我们有 ed ing 结尾，或者是甚至是动词的形式。那这边的 annoy 指的就是让谁烦躁嘛，所以如果在后面加一个 ed， 就是变成一个人感到烦躁 annoyed， 或者是令人感到烦躁的事情，我们就会说 annoying。所以文章就是说呢 Oleron 他很讨厌 Elsie 的声音哦，他讨厌他在那边大吼大叫，他觉得非常的烦。那所以 Oleron 呢，他就突然感受到自己一股很可怕的力量，他就很想要去攻击 Elsie， 可是他试着阻止自己，却没有办法控制。
The story used the verb strike. To strike something means to hit someone or something, either with your fist or with an object.To strike just means to hit, but to hit something hard and with force. You can strike a drum with a drumstick, or you can strike a person with your fists. If you're riding a horse, you might want to strike that horse with a whip. So, did Oleron actually hit or strike Elsie? Seems like he might have done. Back to the story, Oleron woke up.He thought he'd had a nightmare. A large crowd had gathered outside the old building.
Oh, maybe it was just a dream.
Maybe it was a dream.
I hope it was a dream only. 所以 nightmare 就是噩梦。所以呢 Oleron 他就醒了过来，他就说那应该是做了个噩梦吧。就一大群人都围在老旧的建筑外面。
Oh, was it a dream or was it reality? Let's find out.Two police officers entered the apartment to find a horrible smell and Oleron lying in bed. They asked him where Elsie was, but Oleron was confused and couldn't tell them. I don't have a good feeling about this.
Neither.
The police are involved, Elsie is nowhere to be seen, and there's a bad smell. What's going to happen? Before we find out, let's look at the word horrible.Horrible is an adjective, and horrible means terrible, unpleasant, not nice, not good, or disgusting. A horrible smell is a bad smell. It's gross, like rotten food. A horrible person is a person who's mean and not very kind. Or a horrible day is a very bad day where bad things happen. You feel sad and stressed.We can describe pretty much anything as horrible if it's really, really bad. Here's an example sentence. The horrible man next door always shouts at me when I play in the yard.
Horrible 就是很可怕的。老师刚刚后面有加很多的名词，所以你可以加一个人 horrible man， 一个很讨厌可怕的人 horrible cold， 你感冒得很严重，或者是一个很糟糕的一天 horrible day， horrible feeling， 很不好的感觉。那我们再造一个句子，我们很不好的感觉来试试看。She was left with a horrible feeling of emptiness when her boyfriend told her that she doesn't love her anymore.
Oh no.
Oh no. 所以Are you asking me that's true?
No, it's just a horrible situation.
Okay, yeah, it is. 所以 horribly 呢，就是可怕的或很糟糕的。
Yeah, not good. We also saw the word confused, which is another negative adjective. It means unable to think clearly. You're not sure of what's happening. If you're confused, you don't really know what's going on, or you don't know the answer to a question.If you're confused, it's probably because you don't understand the situation well enough. Here's an example sentence. The teacher tried to explain the meaning of the story, but I still felt confused. I just didn't understand the point.
所以 confused 就是很感到困惑的。那又一样又出现这种句型了 confused ed 结尾，你自己感到把 d 拿掉变 confused 就是让谁困惑。所以比如说把两者混淆，你也可以当这个意思。我们大家再看一个句子，那如果什么事情让你感到很困惑，我们就会用 confusing。好，那看一个句子哦。People confuse me with my sister all the time since we look like twins. 所以代表呢，我跟我姐大家都很常混淆，因为我们长得很像双胞胎。所以两名警察呢进了公寓，就发现了一股超级不好闻的味道。然后 Oleron 这个人是躺在床上，他们就说 Where is Elsie? 但是呢 Oleron 很困惑，他没有办法告诉他们。
I'm feeling very worried for Elsie.
Yeah.
Let's see what's happened. He couldn't remember anything. It didn't take long for the officers to find the source of the smell, though. It was Elsie's body.
Oh my goodness. I thought it was like a smell of a mouse or something.
No.
Okay, it's a human body. Oh no.
Yeah, here the word body doesn't mean your 身体, right? Your body. It means a dead body. Elsie was killed by Oleron.
Oh, or not by the apartment?
Well, maybe it was the apartment controlling Oleron.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think's happened here.
Okay, so maybe Oleron is going to jail.
Oh, well, maybe. And, if it really was the influence of the apartment, is it really Oleron's fault?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know who to blame. But 我们就知道说 Oleron 谁都不记得了。不过呢，警察很快就找到尸体的，不是尸体，那个臭味的来源，就是尸体，而且是 Elsie 的。
Elsie was killed. What a sad ending to this story. Was it Oleron going crazy? Was the apartment actually haunted by a ghost? I guess we'll never know, but probably Oleron will spend the rest of his life in prison. Well, that's the end of our 3-day ghost story about a haunted apartment and the unfortunate tenants who lived there. Hope you enjoyed the story, even though it was kind of spooky. Sometimes it feels good to be scared, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to our final For You Chat question to wrap things up.
For You Chat.
So the For You Chat question is this. There are people who think this is a ghost story, but there are others who think Oleron went mad or crazy. What do you think happened to Oleron in the story?
I think it would be unfair to say that he went mad because maybe it was true that he started seeing things, but maybe some people wouldn't understand. They would be like, you didn't see it. I think it was just your imagination. It was in your head. But maybe it was true that he saw something. He knew what he saw, right? So I think that maybe it was true that he saw something and maybe, this ghostly woman controlled him to kill Elsie, maybe. That's what I think.
I guess it comes down to whether or not you believe in ghosts, right?
Right. I think you'll have a more scientific response to this.
For sure. I would be worried that maybe Oleron was mad, but if he gets away with it, other people who are not mad could just pretend, the ghost told me to kill them.
Right.
When actually they just wanted to kill them.
That is true, though.
That's dangerous, right?
Right.
If everybody who does a bad thing just says, I didn't do it, it was the ghost that did it, then people can do bad things all the time.
You can go around killing people.
If Oleron really is mad, then he needs some help from a doctor. Maybe he can go to a special, hospital or prison where it's not like a regular prison, where he can get help for his disease.
Like a psych ward or something.
Yeah, it's not quite like a normal prison.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys can think about this too. What do you think actually happened in the story? Was there a ghost controlling Oleron, or did he do it himself? You can talk about that with your friends. That's all we have time for, though, for this 3-day story. Please don't have nightmares tonight. I don't want to hear from your parents about how you were scared and woke them up in the middle of the night. Let's go and watch some funny movie to calm down.
Yeah, sure. And also, I want to go to a pub.
Sure, let's do that too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Suspect. The police suspected that the man had killed his wife, but they had no proof. Harm. The two thieves were prepared to harm the old man, in order to find out where he hid his money. Circumstance. The police want to learn more about the circumstances of the man's death, so they're talking to his family and friends. Bang. The baby used a big spoon to bang on the pot and make a noise like a drum. Horrible. I like this kind of fruit, but some people think it tastes horrible. Confused. Trying to solve the math problem left Doug confused, so he asked the teacher for help.
字汇小补帖
Vicar. Tenant. Annoy. Nightmare.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net